This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I'm here at Digital Consulting Services. Since 2019, they've been helping companies translate business goals into reality by executing a digital business strategy to attract customers in your market. I'm here with Doug Sabanash, who is the CEO. Thanks for joining us here for us today.
Well, thank you.
Let's start off a little bit about yourself. I mean, you were formally educated at the University of Boulder. You have an extensive background, really, in digital sales, marketing, spanning back to the late 90s. Many roles in the marketing sales divisions you've served, anything from head of marketing to marketing manager, account executive. You've delivered high percentage increases from multiple companies throughout the years, really for nearly a quarter of a century. Share with us a little bit how this passion of marketing got started for you pretty much early on.
Well, I was given a really great role at a subsidiary of Time Inc. Back in the late 90s. I basically was in the right place at the right time with the right attitude. I had a skiing background from the time I was 3 years old. So I landed kind of ass backwards at Warren Miller Ski and Skiing magazine at the time when the magazines were really looking to get online for the first time. Because in 1999, 2000, the internet was big or getting big. It was gaining traction, and every magazine sort of needed their online presence. So I was tasked with the job to take the two magazines, Ski and Skiing, and Warren Miller at the time, and put them online, build websites, build traction, and get subscribers. It's all about the bottom line.
About that,
sell advertising and get subscribers.
Generating those leads, generating for the company.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've sat down with many entrepreneurs, business owners. I've found that these owners, they're very good at what they do, but most of them are not good at marketing how good they are at what they do. I mean, is this something you've experienced? And do you think most of these small business owners today need help with that from a professional?
I do. And to be honest, I mean, just literally owning my own business, it's really difficult to manage the business, to create business, and to market myself. So often I have to take, it's often 3 weeks or a month where I take a gut check and I'm like, am I doing for myself what I'm doing for my clients? And a lot of the times the answer is no. Like, you got to write. You have to create interest. You have to continue with your thought leadership, and you have to just keep telling people how you can help their business. So as a business owner and a marketer, I certainly understand, the juxtaposition of the two seats, a CEO and a guy or a woman or whoever who's really running the business, and then trying to grow the business at the same time.
You've experienced both sides of it,
Absolutely.
From an owner as well as a marketer.
Yep.
I mean, business owners are busy, be it a lawyer, an accountant. They're wearing many hats out there. It's been said that 50% of small businesses do not have a digital strategy. Would you say that most of them, don't know where to start? Are they kind of overwhelmed by the whole process?
I think it's a combination of both. I meet a lot of business owners that don't know where to start. So they kind of throw everything at it and hire an agency or a consultant that dabbles in everything and can do everything for them. And many of them that I meet are disappointed because it's more of a shotgun approach, whereas others don't know, they have a marketing strategy, but they simply can't execute it because they just don't have the numbers. They don't have the people who either are familiar with their product and know how to market it, or they'll hire a couple junior marketers who are kind of getting their feet wet, green, and they'll kind of shoot from the hip and read a lot and then hit the most newsworthy trend within the marketplace. So it's a combination of both. And we help them both because we can take you from not having a strategy at all,
okay,
to analyzing your business, auditing everything in your business in terms of the marketing and sales side, and understanding what your goals are, who your target market is, and how to find them and matchmake them. So where do we discover the problem that you solve, and where we find the people who have that problem, and then matchmake. So it's not a shotgun approach. It's a really targeted approach. And with all the data out there, building personas is great for a top line sort of mid-market, long or medium to long sales cycle. But you really need to identify who your target market is. And by doing so, you can really understand the back end of your website.
I want to delve
analytics and
into
data.
that part because that's something you do that's kind of unique. It's not a shotgun approach like you said. Let me ask you this. I mean, gone are the days of simply hanging up a shingle and a sign and putting it on your store, waiting for the customers to come. Why would you say online marketing, the World Wide Web, is really one of the most valuable tools, really as an equalizer for the small business guy to compete even against the big boys?
Well, it's first of all, you have to have an online presence, which is that hanging sign outside of your business. If you're not online, the trust of the consumer is gone.
Okay.
They can't find you. They have no idea what you do or who you are. They only have a perception of maybe the products you sell or the services you sell. So being online is, like I said, that sign. But also attracting people to your website, whether it's B2B or B2C e-commerce, you really get the back end data that dissects those customers, breaks it down on who they are, user behavior, where they enter your website, and more importantly, maybe where they exit your website, what content they're engaging with, what products they're looking at, what their demographic is, what's their medium household income, things like that. So you can more effectively target your ideal consumer. And a lot of those ideal consumers come with a marketing or a sales study, but all the data, concrete data, comes from the actual users on who they are. Like you may target people in the desert to wear a raincoat,
right?
But until you get the users on your website, you'll find that nobody in the desert needs a raincoat. It's more of the people in Seattle or Portland.
So it's a sign like it was on the building, but this is a sign that gives you some information you never would have before. I mean, not only are professionals out there overwhelmed by the idea of investing their time and their effort in marketing, but let's face it, they're concerned about the amount of money needed to invest. Are they surprised many times that as little as 5 to 10% of their annual revenue can actually give them some results?
Absolutely. They're very surprised because marketing, since I've been in it for a while, when I first started, marketing was the party throwers. They were the money spenders of the company, right. And the salespeople were the money generators. So the salespeople got everything. And to be honest, absolutely, the salespeople closed the deal, and that's fantastic. But what we've done at Digital Consulting Services, and what I've kind of done since, I really became a sales and marketing and digital head, is enable the sales force, the salespeople, to use the assets that we can create and the information that we can give them about the customer and about what problems they're experiencing, to really talk to them in more of a consulting a consulting conversation than you need our product, you need it now. There's no forced selling with us. It's all, hey, call this guy because he's looked at these 3 pieces of content. He's watched a couple of videos. He's obviously experiencing this problem that we can solve. So give him a shout, ask him a couple questions, and then ask him for another follow-up. And we tailor our business to give the salesperson that follow-up, that next piece of content or that next blog or that next white paper that the person can say, hey, this guy called me. He knows what's going on. And here's a case study or a white paper that really develops sort of how they can help me. So there's really no forced selling. It's very consultative.
Not only that, but those 2 departments are now communicating with information instead of kind of working against each other, whatnot. And
well, I don't know how to market unless I talk to salespeople and I talk to customer service and onboarding, consumer success, because I need to know what holes are being missed in onboarding. So when we sell somebody, I can market to them how smooth the transition is going to be. And then we talk to customer service to understand what questions they're getting. So then we can create content to answer those questions so we don't get a phone call, or we get a phone call and say, hey, we just did a blog or a case study on that. And with sales, I need to know what refusals they're getting, and so we can nip that in the bud from the onset.
I mean, honestly, you help these companies plan, prepare, and execute. Let's talk a little bit about the process just to touch on here. Establishing and building a brand. Is that important for small companies out there? The big guys know it's important, but are these small companies starting to realize that their brand is a lot?
Well, it depends on what their goals are. And what we do with a lot of smaller brands is we localize the ability for local people to find them within Google search or Bing. So we really tailor make it to their goals, whether they want local business. There are some businesses I have, some clients I have who don't want out-of-state business because they don't want to deal with it. It's either legal or it's just mentality. They know their niche and they hit it out of the park with it. Others want to go national or international. So it's really tailor making the programs for their goals. And, to be honest, I've gotten a lot of questions with a lot of the clients in the initial phone call will say, well, you're just a consultancy group. Are you just going to give me a plan and leave me alone, with your plan and have me figure out how to do it? Well, no. My goal is to teach your marketing department or your marketers and your salespeople how to go through the process and how to execute it, from the generation of an idea to a plan all the way through execution. And then teach them, there's an old saying, you either buy somebody a fish every day or you teach them how to fish so they can provide for themselves.
Exactly.
And that's what we do. Look, I get a lot of abrasiveness from a marketing director because I'm hired from a CEO that has a marketing problem. But I don't want to be that marketing director. I don't want to be that CMO. I want to teach them what I know and combine it with what they know about the product and service and couple that with a program that achieves their goals. And then bring me on as a consulting group on a monthly fee or not, or just give me an hourly, when you need help or what have you. I'm sort of the person who comes in. But I really love working in different markets, from candles and lotions to footbeds and insoles to corporate sauce and integration services.
Be it products or services, the World Wide Web works for both of those types of businesses out there. I mean, this buyer persona I see as being the key to a lot of what you do. I mean, truly knowing that target, you can create effective campaigns. You're also not wasting money on throwing it out there and taking more of a shotgun approach. So I see a lot of companies, they've given up on marketing because they think it doesn't work, but they're throwing so much out there at a target that's not even relevant.
Absolutely. And to be honest, when I was cutting my teeth, I really had to hone in how you, research keywords. You find out what your competition is using to get the keywords and to establish themselves as the first, 1, 2, 3, 1 to 5 results on Google or Bing, and really figure out how to break them down, seize keywords that they're not using that are completely attainable from a small or medium-sized business. It's not going to cost us $9, CPM or what have you, but more of the ones that fit their business, that are low cost, and they're mostly pay-per-click.
You basically got to get a little creative, not go after the easy picking ones that the big guys own, but you're talking about getting creative with what you're actually targeting. That's kind of exciting for a small business owner. If you have a new business out there, maybe a startup that built a website rather quickly, rushed into it to get into business, then later on they started realizing that website is more powerful than I'm giving it. They want to do maybe an overhaul. Are you able to basically provide an analysis or maybe a website audit? And what will that show them?
Absolutely. We'll do a complete audit for free and really give that business the intelligence they need to make smarter decisions. So within that audit, it'll be a lot of keyword information, a lot of keywords missed information, like here are the keywords that Google, Bing, and their algorithms have seen that you're kind of lacking upon. It'll give you a traffic analysis, who's visiting your website, and more importantly, sometimes who's not visiting your website. And it'll give you what we've found is very valuable is a customer journey within your website. So where they enter, what they look at, and where they exit.
Interesting. I mean, the digital marketing has expanded beyond our homepage website. Customers, they expect to engage now. Can you tell me how social media is a vital tool in that arsenal? And is that somewhere you can help them with as well?
Absolutely. But social media also has, it's two genres in our view. And it's, B2B, it's lots of LinkedIn, lots of Twitter, some Facebook. If we do a real estate agency, so it's all three because they need to engage Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And we do a proper cadence as our analytics have shown us, which is, Facebook 3 times a week, LinkedIn twice a week, and Twitter almost twice a day, to really kind of generate branding and thought leadership. But when you get into more of the B2B, it's more of LinkedIn and your own website, newsletters, really generating and establishing thought leadership and an expertise in that genre or that area where you sell products and services.
You have, really 20 plus years, you've grown with the internet. Your services you provide are vast, be it a website or a marketing campaign, social media, even email marketing. For you, at the end of the day, this is about connecting the consumer or the other business to a particular business. Do you enjoy getting to know those businesses and finding out exactly what they need and then create a custom plan for them?
Absolutely. Every business or service, product or service really has its niche. They all solve problems. And unless you get to sort of, the big fat slippers or, the indulgence products where, those have their place and time. But really with us, it's a great thing to study a business, understand the problems in the marketplace, how they solve them, and then connect them with the businesses or the consumers that could really use that problem solved. I mean, back in the day, a lot of sales guys would say, you're the Chuck Woolery of solutions and business. Like, you just make the match. And it's fun. I've always researched stuff. I've been a big white paper and a research paper sort of writer back in the day. And I love research. I love finding the one thing that could help the one problem that's out there and really match people in a really cost-effective way.
That is exciting. I mean, it said before, the business owners, the professionals out there, they're busy. They're wearing multiple hats. They're overwhelmed. Obviously, they can choose one area that you can help them with or test, or basically hand over the whole 9 yards, and you put together a very extensive plan for them, and then maybe they hand that off to their marketing team or their marketing guy. Is it rewarding for you to share this knowledge that you have in here and not really just hold on to it and make them rely on you, but really share it and they decide how they want to utilize you? Does that continue to be rewarding?
Absolutely. It's very rewarding. I wish it was more. I wish I could give more, to be honest, which motivates me to write more and to lecture more. Not lecture, but have a conversation. This. Absolutely. And what really rewards, what's the most rewarding thing is at the end of each quarter or month, you do the sales and marketing check-in, and it's to see the teams get along, because sales and marketing have kind of always been sort of abrasive towards each other, but see the teams get along, working together and share those successes. Hey, you gave me the case study that I sent to this guy, and he called me 10 minutes later, and we closed the deal. That is the most rewarding thing there is, because we studied the marketplace. We studied who your customers are. We gave you the ammo, the bandolier of bullets that you can go out and hit the marketplace with, and it worked. So all of our work and all of our studying and breaking down of things worked, and it's benefited the company.
Win-win for both departments. Absolutely. And therefore it's a win for the entire company.
Yeah.
Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is the website. On the website, you're going to take a look at all the different services they're able to provide for you. Quite an arsenal. We're talking about experience that is brought over the past close to 25 years in different mediums, be it the medium of Time Inc., as well as Mountain Media, all the way up to products, sales, services. This is a gentleman that can basically take what you have right now and make it much better. Or if you're one of those out there that really doesn't have a strategic plan put in place for marketing, he obviously can create that for you. Also, take a look at the website. You're going to see case studies, sales sheets. They've got checklists for you. Quite honestly, it's a lot of information that you can learn right there on the website as well. But the best way, obviously, is to contact them, and they're going to discuss your situation and find out exactly what plan they can put together for you and set you up for success. Once again, that is Digital Consulting Services since 2019. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.